BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your basketball info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest player reports for this year's pro basketball playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters this season, as we have covered you for all your sports wagering needs: basketball, MLB, NHL hockey, right to UCF and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games you can play right from your home. Head to the website today to use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. And welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and be notified of all future episodes. We're on all podcast outlets: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure you follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. It all helps the cause, which is the I love Jackson State University. And we are back with a very special guest. This is a guy who I think overnight kind of became a fan favorite after a very impressive showing in the spring game. And I even threw on my JSU gray for this one. All right, none other than Grayson Thompson. Welcome to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, Grayson.
What's going on? Thank you guys for having me.
Our pleasure, man. Like I said, a fan favorite overnight. Always been a fan favorite, but I mean, just after a lot of the fans got to see you in the spring game, it really started to notice you more, and you became the talk of the town, in my opinion. So we definitely want to hear all about that, how life has been for you since that time, and even prior to that time, since you've been at Jackson State. But you're a guy who you've been here for a while, but admittedly, you're not a big, camera guy in front of the camera. So some of the fans may think you're shy, or they may not know a lot about you. So let's open up with a fun fact. Give us something interesting, something that the fans probably don't know about you that may catch them off guard.
Okay, well, I have a fiance. I'm 21 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people find that interesting, being this young.
Yeah.
It's an interesting fact.
Very interesting. So has the wedding been planned? Is there a date set yet, or no?
Yeah, January 2024, I'll be married, and yeah, so it's all set.
Okay. And when do you graduate?
I graduate in December
Okay.
2023.
So wow. So right after graduation, you're gonna tie the knot, right?
Right. Yep.
The start a family and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Soon.
Don't know about that yet, right? But no, man, congratulations. Awesome. That's good stuff, man. So again, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right. So of course, like I said, you had a big spring game, looked very much in command of the offense, and a lot of fans started to get behind you. What has the reaction been to your performance from family, friends, and even fans?
Family, my JSU teammates, they're my family, They kind of were just expecting that, really. We're together every day, been there for 3 years. I do that every day in practice, and, it's really just the way I prepare, and it just showed in the spring game to the fans and everybody because they haven't really seen it. But, from the people that know and love me, they're kind of expecting that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned it, for your teammates and even the coaches. I don't think this was, well, I know it wasn't a surprise for the coaches and even people like myself who attend practices and, like I said, your teammates, because like you said, you performed well all spring. But talk about how the spring went for you and how would you grade yourself if you had to give yourself a grade?
Yeah, the spring for me, we brought in other guys, Jason, Phil, Zai, and then I was there. The first 7 practices, I didn't get a single rep,
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, I just do what I've always done, prepare like a starter, wait for my opportunity, and opportunity came, and I do what I do, prepared, and produce on the field. I'm glad everybody got to see that.
So if I'm Coach T.C. Taylor and the first 7 practices, I don't even give you much of a shot or many snaps, and I insert you into the practice, what if I'm TC Taylor, what do you think stood out to me as far as what you improved on the most from the last time TC Taylor, saw you play last season?
Yeah, Coach TC, he's always known what I can do. He's seen me from the day I got there. He's always been looking out for me, and he's always been my guy. So he knows what I can do, and he has confidence in me. It's just really showing the new coaches what I can do, and just instilling that confidence in all of them. Just letting them know that I'm coachable, I do what's asked, and I can take control of the offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you did just that. But if you kind of look at your development, your progression since last season, what do you think has been the thing you've gotten better at the most?
Definitely just confidence. I kind of had the same thing in high school. I was a 3-year starter in Texas 5A, mm-hmm. So just having time under your belt really makes a difference. By the time I was a senior, I'm like, well, I'm better than these dudes. I can do anything on this field, And so it's kind of just the same kind of thing going through this. Like, I have the confidence. I know what I'm doing, just having the confidence in the offense and just being able to do it.
Mm-hmm. And as you assess yourself, what are those things that you want to continue? I'm pretty sure there's a number of things, but if you had to single out that one thing you want to improve on the most as you get prepared for this fall?
Definitely just size, putting on weight, getting bigger, and then just really connecting with the guys, like on timing routes and things like that. Just those are really important things in this offense that we're running.
What is their current height and weight, and what do you want to get up to?
Right this second, I'm 6'3", about 195. Probably like to get up to 205, 210 by the time fall comes around.
Okay. So, of course, we have a number of new coaches. We want to get to those, but you mentioned getting up to 205. So the new strength and conditioning coaches, talk about Coach Beef and, just that whole team and what they brought to the table and how you plan on adding that weight.
Yeah, so Coach Beef, that's my guy, and he's a great strength and conditioning coach. He truly, passionately loves what he does. And, that's all you can ask from a guy like that that's with us every day. And, I'm getting with him, getting on the right stuff for the strength and conditioning program, adding extra calories to my diet, getting the right protein, drinking enough water, and then just kind of following the plan just day after day, staying consistent with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then those new coaches that you definitely are trying to show them what you're made of and show them what you can do, starting with your new OC. Tell us what's been like playing for Coach Mo. So tell us what you can, because obviously you don't want to give it all up, but tell us what you can about playing in Coach Maurice Harris's system.
Yeah, Coach Mo, that's a great man. He truly cares about us as men. Every day he gets us in there, and he pours into us man to man, explaining life after football, showing us through the Word. He's telling us through the Bible and what God expects of us as a husband and as a man. And,
wow.
That's the thing we do with him every day. So to me, that's more important than anything. And that shows us that he truly cares about us as men. So, everyone's able to get behind a man like that. And, that just makes it easier to want to play for him.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, and now that you mention it, I do notice every morning he starts off 5, 6 a.m. with a tweet, a spiritual tweet every single morning. I don't know if you follow or you've seen it. So I can just kind of tell that's the type of man he is. And man, what a guy to follow, especially as you talk about to get married and eventually start a family. So no better person to have kind of lead you now as a student athlete than Coach Mo Harris. So definitely shout out to Coach Maurice Harris. And then, of course, the new QB coach as well. What do you like about Coach Billerman, and how has your relationship with him started to evolve?
Yeah, Coach Billerman's great. Our relationship really is just forming. He just tells you straight up what you need to do, what he expects of us, and then you just go do it. And he's took initiative, taking us out to get dinners and stuff like that, and really just being a great coach and just being there for us as men. I just want to get the confidence in him. Be able to throw me out there, and he knows that I'm going to do what he tells me to do, and just continue building that relationship.
Yeah. And then, of course, Coach TC, we've talked about it now. I know personally that he has had in the past and when I say past, I mean recently. It's as recently as during the spring, high praises for you, and he was pretty happy that you chose to stay. So, talk about first of all his promotion to head coach and how that factored into your decision to stay, and then some of the conversations that you've had with him. Again, what you can actually share with us.
Yeah, like I said, the second I got to Jackson State, he's always been looking out for me. He's always been making sure I'm good off the field, classes, living situation, just trying to make sure that I'm good in my situation. So I really appreciate that. And then whenever I found out that he was going to be promoted to the head guy, I mean, I was nothing but ecstatic. Like, there's nobody more deserving of that job, and he takes great pride in it. So it's just a joy to be able to play for him.
Mhm. Yep, yep. And then talk about your journey to Jackson State, just to begin with. I know, transferring in from North Texas, how did that come about?
Right. So in high school, I was on Coach Prime's 7-on-7 team,
Right.
and so I was always kind of with him and Shador. And when I was in North Texas, I got in the portal, and that's kind of a relationship I had. So I knew that's where I wanted to go. And when I got here, everyone just kind of took me in, and you know, I found my home in the transfer portal.
So talk about just life at Jackson State, especially considering it being an HBCU, just the transition from North Texas, and probably a culture shock, even Mississippi from where you're coming from. Just talk about how that transition was at the beginning and what it's like now.
Yeah, it is different. I would say the main thing that I love about it is just the people. Like it's extremely welcoming, and it's a true family. It's a
Hmm.
football town. Everyone's supportive of Jackson State football, every other sport really. So you go around town wearing your JSU gear, and somebody will take care of you no matter what. And I really appreciate that being away from family. I know I always have a family every time I go out.
Mm. Yeah. And talk about the experience playing in the SWAC, just going around to the different venues, and of course playing at the vet. Definitely different from what you were used to. Let's talk about that experience as well.
Yeah, so just going around to all the other SWAC schools, it's a great atmosphere. The JSU fans travel well, so it's always good having them behind us. And then playing at the vet, there's nothing like it. 55, 60,000 people all at once. I mean, I can't even describe it. Out in the field, there's nothing I've ever experienced like it. It's the greatest feeling I think I've felt on a football field.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you had some big plays in the spring game. I know you found, who was it? Kobe Paul. Was it Kobe Paul you found a couple times?
Yeah, Kobe Paul a few times.
Yeah. So of course, didn't have the 55,000 at the spring game, had some wedding and stuff like that. But have you thought about what it would feel like doing that in front of that packed crowd at the vet?
Yeah, that's really what I've been preparing for the past 3 years, just waiting on my opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, for the past couple of years, you've been preparing for it. You've been here for a couple seasons and been on two super talented teams. Now, of course, a lot of that talent left, whether it was due to the graduation and the portal, and then even the NFL. But Coach TC has done a masterful job of reloading this roster. So, tell us about this 2023 squad. We're not trying to compare it to the previous teams, but what are your thoughts so far about the squad?
Yeah, the main thing that I've seen, I mean, obviously we brought in great talent and everything, but the way that we've gelled as a team already in a few months is just light years ahead of what it's been. Really probably any other year. We just really come together as a team and as a unit, and we know we're all working for one goal. And I think that more than anything, once you have a brotherhood, there's not really anything that can slow you down as long as you work together.
So with this being a new team, you talk about a roster overhaul and then brand new coaches as well. Why do you think you guys have been able to gel so quickly with everybody being new and really just meeting each other for the first time, mostly in January?
Yeah, I think some of it has to do with the core guys that we've kept. At every position we have at least one or two guys that stayed and know the standard, and we're just able to communicate that to the new guys. Like, this is the way we do things. It's worked in the past, and I think everyone's kind of just bought into that. And then on top of that, just being together all day, every day, really just building those relationships with the guys.
Mm-hmm. And talk about some of the new guys that have come in and already just kind of taken on leadership roles and taking on some of that responsibility of getting the team, bringing the team together and helping build a net camaraderie. Who are some guys that kind of stand out as a guy who you wouldn't think just got here in January?
Definitely Asias on Twitter. Yeah, I definitely him. And there's a lot of DBs and everybody. They're all new. They seem to fly around. They know what they're doing. I think that's helped a lot. We got the new guys in the receiver room, Brandon and Seven, making plays. Yeah, I mean, really all over the place. We got new guys, and they just come in and worked. Even O line, D line, linebackers. So yeah, I mean, everyone's just kind of done what they've done and bought in with each other.
Okay, so along those lines, you're starting to name some guys. I'm glad you started to throw out some names because I'm gonna do it to you, Grayson. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat, right? I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna have some fun with it, right? So I have a few categories here, and I need you to pick one teammate for each category, right? But Not someone who was a starter last season or got a lot of playing time. I'm talking about a new guy, a transfer, or someone who didn't play a ton last season. So I want you to give me just one name. Now, for all of the guys who are watching and listening, it's me telling him he can only give me one person. So it's not him, right? I want the first person to come to mind for each category, okay?
All right.
All right, so let's start on offense since you're a QB. And I know you like to throw the ball, so the wide out. So give me one name, a wide receiver who's going to surprise some people this year.
Surprise some people. Okay. I mean,
One name.
One name. I got to go with 7. He's a playmaker. And, once he gets the ball in his hands, I think it's going to surprise some people with the ability that he has with the ball in his hands.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. Now, even though you want to put the ball in the air, give me that one running back who you're totally fine handing it off to in the game because you know he's going to make your job easier and keep the defense honest.
Somebody that's new.
Somebody who didn't play a ton last year.
Desmond Moultrie. He's gonna light up the scoreboard once he gets his touches, and he's gonna do what he does.
Texas State, right?
Yep, Texas.
All right. Let's see. So let's jump over to the defense. I know on the O-line we were kind of thin, and we're bringing some guys on, so I'll skip that one for now. But on defense, give me a guy who you're glad you won't have to go up against in a real game because he's always bringing that pressure. So you don't want to see him on Saturday. Glad you don't have to see him on Saturday, right?
Definitely Doyle. Without a doubt.
Now Doyle, he was doing it last year though, so I don't know about that name. He was kind of a mainstay last year, so you got to give me somebody who didn't play as much as he played last season. I know he missed a little bit of time, but he was a main guy. So give me a newcomer or somebody who didn't play as much as him.
Somebody that did not play as much as him was Juice.
Okay, yeah, I want to hear about it because we see these videos on social media. Everybody's asking us, "What's up with Juice? What's up with Juice?" Because they see these videos. So talk to us.
Yeah, Juice. I mean, that's a maniac coming off the edge. Nobody wants to see him, and once he gets going, I don't really think there's anybody that can stop him.
Definitely, man. We're waiting to see Julius Reynolds, man. Definitely. I like that one. Okay, so of course we're losing Aubrey Miller to the NFL, and you don't really replace an Aubrey Miller, but who's the guy who's probably up to the challenge of trying to fill that void? Linebacker.
Probably JJ. I mean, that seems like the guy that's going to take that spot. He's a beast in the middle, and yeah, I'm going to go with him.
Okay, all right, I like it. All right. And now this may be a little bit tougher for you because you're a quarterback, and you talk about that confidence that you've gained, and probably I know you're fearless as a quarterback, but you got to give me a name in the secondary. So if all things are even, you're surveying the field, everything's even, and who be the last person you want to test?
I mean, I could really test all of them, but
I know you would, but the one you'd probably stay away from if you had the choice.
I'll say Size.
He's gonna love hearing that. He's gonna love hearing that. He may take that clip and tweet it.
Yeah. Just roaming the field. It doesn't really matter what coverage. He's a ball hog. It seems like he's always around the ball.
All right, good stuff, man. So I'm gonna take you off the hot seat. All right, great job. So again, to all the teammates, he could have named several people for each category, but D chorus he told him to pick only one. So awesome stuff, man. Well, listen, Grayson, we're so happy to have you here on the show finally. You remember we tried to get you on the show when you first transferred. You remember us reaching out to you? You were still en route and hadn't even unpacked yet. We were trying to get you on the show. So it came a couple years later, but no better time, obviously, after the performance. And everybody's excited to see what you can do. They finally got to see what we've always seen, at least during the spring, during practice. So happy for you, man. Definitely don't be a stranger. And give the fans a message, man. Let them know something. They're all listening. So what do you want to say to the JSU faithful?
I just want to say, us players appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. We go out there every day and we know that we've got to produce on the practice field because we got 55, 60,000 fans waiting to see us every weekend in the vet and, many more around the country watching online and on TV. And, we really appreciate you guys and, keep showing love to us.
All right, there you have it. Grayson Thompson, quarterback, Jackson State University. And again, thanks for coming on the show, man. Wish you all the best this season.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.